Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. Jumping right back in, we're close to level 25. In the original game, I believe the max level in this game was like 30, I think, and now it's like 99. So, um, drink sponsor of choice today is water, Hydro Homies. Drink water. All right, we're gonna talk to Hiram about some more of the stuff that we need to, like Nyoka and all that nonsense. So I know that we need to, go and fix the radio, jumpstart the tower, and everything. But we need to talk to him about this. Yeah,
Have some information for me?
Nyoka needs a favor.
Oh, great. I love doing pro bono work for friends.
Aw, you called us friends. I'd normally entertain your self-aggrandizing delusions, but this time it's important.
Important to you is not the same as important to me. Although I do recognize that you may have earned some goodwill during your months laboring for me.
She's your friend and she's in need. You're the only one who can help.
Tug on my heartstrings, why don't you? Look, I'll do what I can, all right?
Rebecca Hodges and Anders Wadsworth. They took a UDL contract back when Monarch went to shit, and I need to find them. I believe them to be on Terra too.
If UDL hired 2 hunters back then, it would have been for creature clearing purposes, round 1 of their Spacer's Choice outposts. These are the coordinates for the outpost under the last UDL contract. Now scram. And, good luck.
So you're an info broker. What's that?
Is that a trick question? Because to answer it, you'd need to pay me. Of course, I could offer you a vastly more interesting bit of data instead. Try me. Ask me anything you'd like. I'll even offer it for free. We'll call it an exchange for your help with the broadcasts. Ask me what you will.
All right. Have you received any broadcasts from Earth?
What? No. Why would I go out of my way to intercept messages from Earth? There's no market for them. No buyer means it's not worth my time. Now, if you wanted me to intercept a certain one, that might be worth it for the right price.
What can you tell me about Phineas?
Not much, admittedly.
You must know something about him.
I do know this much. There is a sharper side to the good scientist than you'd expect. If allegations are to be believed, the experiments he conducts for the greater good are in fact
The greater
treasonous
good.
and for self-gain. I am not convinced as to the validity of these allegations, considering the source, but I am also not unconvinced either.
All right. Ask you about something else, I
Luckily
guess.
for you, I am a veritable font of information.
Curious about MSI and the Iconoclasts.
They are a curious lot. Insufferable. And short-sighted, too. What else do you wish to know?
I could use some dirt on Sanjar.
Sanjar is not actually at fault for his past performance reviews, but he can keep hunting for loopholes to get back on the board for the next century. He'll never be reinstated. Not in his lifetime. For Nebula's sake, even with the loophole I gave him, he's only in charge of MSI because every other exec died during the massacre at Amber Heights.
Interesting.
Indeed,
Very interesting.
the information I gather usually is, or it's not worth my time investment, as you can imagine.
I'm curious about Graham Bryant's deep, dark secrets.
Some say Graham suffers from nightmares that leave him sweat-drenched and screaming. I would assume it stems from the friends and family he lost in Amber Heights all those years ago.
All right. I'll ask about something
Luckily
else.
for you, I am a veritable font.
Yeah. Let's talk about the board.
There are so many members. Do specify.
What about the chairman?
If you try to cite me on this, I will deny. Do you understand? What I am about to reveal is the sort of information that gets a body disappeared.
Okay.
MSI's ownership of Monarch is technically legal, but it would give MSI too much power on the board to grant them such status.
So the chairman demonizes Monarch rather than welcome it back into the fold.
Exactly. But you didn't hear so much as a whisper of such from me.
Well, we already kind of knew that it was legal,
Lo-
considering
How low you seemingly regard my trade.
we when we talked to
Give my
Sanjar,
regards to Phineas.
we already kind of figured all that stuff out, that it was legal. So okay, well, that's in Edgewater. Well, we're here. We might as well continue doing this. All right. It's kind of nice to, before I started streaming today, my package arrived, which was my 2 new PS5 controllers. Basically, like, a lot of my DualSenses don't work as well anymore because, as a rage gamer, some of them get broke because of that. But a few of the older ones that I've had, my blue and my white one, I've had them for a long time, and they just kind of start to not. I've had them since launch. Like, I've had them for 3 years now. Well, the blue one I haven't had for 3 years, but I've had the blue one since it was like I think it was the first one. No, the red one was the first to come out, then the blue. I had a red one, which I still have, but I don't use it as much just because the battery doesn't work very well. It's got like a battery that doesn't keep a charge very well. So, but then the blue one was the second one to come out, I believe. The like light blue, and that one I've had since it first came out. And it didn't work anymore. And my white one that I've had since launch also doesn't really work very well. So Amazon's had a deal that the controllers are like $50 a piece. So I'm like, I'm just gonna nab like 2 of those. So I ordered a new red one, and I ordered a purple one because I had a purple one that I broke a long time ago. From throwing it into the ground, I spiked that bitch. That was when I was playing.
Testing 1, 2, check, check. Sweet stars. But that is a beautiful sound. Can you hear me?
I'm trying to remember what I was playing for that. Might have been Death's Door that I played that.
Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it. Now I'll kindly thank you to get out of my tower.
Happily, won't bother you again.
Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior. But I must admit I have grown rather fond of you. As Nyoka can attest, I do not form attachments with many. Do take care.
Why, he told us to leave without flinging insults at our persons. He really does like you, Captain. What in the boy-blasted hell is that?
Oh, shit! It's a ship crashing into the ground. God damn.
Black holes. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I had a front row seat. Whose ship was that?
Looked like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers, but don't cite me on that. Oh well, a pity for the crew, but I can't see how it affects me. Hiram? Can you hear me?
There's Sanjar.
Did you see that? Architect saved me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my channel? Did MSI or did MSI not cease broadcasting? Yes, but... Hiram, are you there?
Will someone explain what's going on?
Ah, the good captain. The truth brings us together once more. Our salvation has come crashing through the stratosphere. We need only collect its weapons. Are you mad? That's a UDL gunship. You'd probably shoot your own toes off.
Surely we can talk this over.
Ah, I see you learned nothing while dealing with these buffoons. We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but we need its targeting module. Our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Help us secure that module and we will save our colony. Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do, so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my void damn channel. I'm more than finished with you lot.
Alright, well. Okay, so, lockpick, we're going to continue getting that up. Hack to 80. And then I think we'll do science. Alright, they got their 5th perk. Sneak attack damage. Yeah, why not? Parvati has, oh yeah, the TTD meter. So when she kills somebody, you get meter. All right, so we got to retrieve the module. Which was it's over here. So I guess Cascadia is the closest. So this is what starts to lead into the whole like faction quest thing for MSI and the Iconoclasts.
This area is suicide. If you gotta walk around, ain't no shame in taking it.
That was blurry as hell. These like Mance pillars hardly ever have anything on them. All right, here we go. This crash is probably going to be swarming with some kind of enemy. Yeah, okay. So I saw some text. All right, well, there's the ship.
Oh, you are in.
Oh, he exploded. This guy just blew the fuck up. Oh, here we are. Gunship crash site. Oh.
I'll keep an eye on things out here.
Yeah, me too. You have fun, Captain.
Okay. Thanks. I will, in fact, have fun. Need a captain's key. Mayday message playback.
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Alright, well, here we are. Okay, so we got some logs. Captain's log, November 12th. CE saying something about spare regulator bypass something something. Chiskashu? I'm turning this thing towards the groundbreaker, firing up the engines and retiring. Better to be arrested than lose power and drift out into space. I just hope this old bird can handle one last trip. December 21st. How in this loft-forsaken colony is it so impossible to requisition parts? My chief engineer is barking at me to order yet another damn thing, and I can't get a response from corporate. January 3rd. Another day, another ship lands on Terra 1, and we can't shoot them down. That makes... I've lost count. What's the point of being out here if we can't get some backup? Run diagnostics. This Mark IV gunship's operational parameters have exceeded acceptable damage ranges. The cost of any repairs necessary to your nearest UDL repair facility will be averaged amongst the crew. Hull integrity, don't ask. Technically functional. Locate targeting module. Locate in primary routing. Requires Captain Matsu's command key. Thank you. I didn't mean to do that. Alright. Get this out. Just in case we got anything in here we need to shoot. Dead guy. Closed door. Alright, well. There we go. So yeah, optional, give the module to Sanjar or to Graham. So, I believe the way that we have to do this, I think the best thing to do is that we actually have to talk to these people first before we end up actually giving it to them. Let me just travel to Stellar Bay here. So we need to talk to Sanjar about the Iconoclast, which...
If the Iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch.
I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but
They're running into trouble with the Iconoclasts.
Can you... Yeah, this is what we need. So, could you agree to a truce with the Iconoclasts?
they're all mad. And what's more, they left us. I don't see any way for us to work together.
I read your review, Sanjar. You can't do this alone.
Ugh, not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a Mantipillar, and my will is my cocoon. I can emerge and become whatever I wish.
Um. Well, you're good with details, but you could use someone who sees the big picture.
You too?
He has a point, sir. And it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts.
What about Graham's second-in-command, Zora?
That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first.
Fine.
Excellent. Her review would be in the Rizzo offices in Cascadia. Bring it to me, and I'll see if she's qualified.
Yeah, so we'll do that first. All right. So yeah, we'll go and get the review. Oh, shot the dog. Hi. We had this this mechanical out here too, which I.
Here they come.
God damn it! I keep doing that. I just killed them to kill them. Okay, how do we get in here? Here we go. Did we not search this area yet? Maybe this is a building we didn't come into? It says like vending machine discovered. And there's still a bunch of stuff in here, so maybe I haven't. Public notice. Yeah, this is the closing. Hazard clause. Yeah, I think we did read all this. But on another... This is like about Project Taro. Stuff like that, the bad news. About getting the people off of the planet, and they didn't do it. Yeah, there was another terminal in Cascadia here that had all that stuff on there. So yeah, maybe we didn't come into this building, but we're gonna take all the stuff now. Terminal, let's see. View data. Executive review for Cecil McClure. Cecil's enthusiasm for Rizzo products is unmatched, and he displays an impressive knowledge of company products. He's exactly the kind of worker we need to keep at our storefronts. Do not promote beyond store manager. And Zora Blackwood. Zora is a top-notch sawbones with a good head for working under pressure. She knows how to assimilate large amounts of detailed information, make quick decisions. Her competence and decisiveness have allowed her to restore more than a few limbs and digits lost to carelessness around the machinery. Recommend for the Employee of the Month. Alright, there we go. Oh, we got a bring that back to Sanjar. I'm going to finish exploring this building though real quick. Bypass shunt. Just dead marauders up here. And we got a workbench as well. Okay, where does this one lead? Down to there. Down to there. Okay. Messages to C. McClure. Cecil, I received multiple complaints about your interactions with customers. According to these reports, the following phrases have been used when describing Rizzo products being sold at your storefront. If that ain't savings, just call me a Raptidon. Expletive deleted. The latest batch is going to knock you out like a nose full of sulfur. The north end of a southbound woolly cow. These and others are not approved metaphors. Please refer to employee handbook for the list of metaphors allowed when working. Much obliged, Violet Humbert, Human Resources Department, Rizzo. From McClure. Violet, I have received notices of the following violations. Consumption of non-approved lunch material, failure to volunteer for voluntary overtime, sale of restricted goods. I contest these violations on the following grounds. I'm allergic to purpleberry. Making one of our pre-approved purpleberry lunch meals will literally kill me. To be candid, it is a miracle I have lived here this long without incident. I can't volunteer for overtime because I've already been assigned overtime shifts. Okay, I'll fess up to selling restricted goods. You got me there. Selling soap to a man who stinks so bad I can't smell the sulfur around him is against the rules. Fine, I won't do it anymore. Cece. To P. Bartleby. Miss Bartleby, I am writing to inform you that multiple employees have filed Form R-441, Perceived Danger to Human Resources, through my office. It appears that Raptidon sightings are growing more and more frequent as Rizzo Inc. has not responded to our request for safety equipment. A level of concern, and dare I say it, restlessness grows among the workers. Any indication as to the truth of these sightings or of the rumors that Rizzo Inc. is no longer supporting our efforts here would go a long way towards improving company morale. Thank you, Violet. And from Z. Blackwood. To Violet from Zora, Simon needs soap. September 17th. Violet, please, we're all begging you for the love that is all good, that is, once again, can't read worth shit. For the love of all that is good and just, please let Cecil sell soap to Simon again. He's got some kind of condition. I don't rightly know what it is, but I've smelled corpses with a finer odor than his, Zora. Alright, so then what's up here? It's like the roof, but... Is there anything up here worth grabbing since there's a ladder? Guess not. Alright. So now we'll go back to Stellar Base. We can give that to Sanjar.
Any luck bringing the Iconoclast to the bargaining table? I don't like the idea that they'll be trying for that module while we delay.
Here's Zora's review.
Very well. I can't promise anything, but let's see what we have here. Well, it seems like she's actually very qualified.
If it weren't for her, I'd wager the Iconoclast would have died off a while ago.
I wasn't expecting to say this, but if you can put her in charge and convince her to agree to a meeting, I'd be willing to discuss terms.
Very well. So yeah, so as I've mentioned before, we talked to Zora a little while ago, and we found out that stuff about Graham that he was the one who had the codes that allowed for the attack. So what we have here, Mr. Ouch. I'll get rid of that. Carrying capacity, cool. Okay, so we'll fast travel to Amber Heights. Because we need to put Zora in charge, basically.
Captain, we should chat. Graham's got
That's
the
why
right
I'm
idea,
here.
but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's motivated by philosophism anymore. I think he's just guilt-ridden. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head, and the only way I see the Iconoclast surviving is we depose him.
I'm with you there. Let's go talk to him.
Okay. Deep breaths. This is what's best, Zora. Time to save Monarch.
And I got my assault rifle out, just in case anybody wants to get a little fancy.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats.
I'm sorry, Graham, but Zora is taking over.
What? Zora?
You're running the Iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the Eternal Path. It's time to step down.
The troops? Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer?
I do. She's got the best interests of the Iconoclast at heart.
I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the Iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us.
Yep, we already know
you
that.
You wanted to save
We
yourself.
found out that information.
No.
Let's gesture on your hands, Graham. No amount of, is that meditating will clean them? Or mediating?
I've spent years atoning for my sins.
I guess meditating.
I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the Iconoclasts so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over. Stand down.
I won't. What happened back then was a mistake, and the colony has moved on. This is my movement. These are my people. If you want to lead them, you'll have to kill me.
Not much of a choice here, Zora.
Yeah, I had hoped. Please, don't make me do this, Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it.
Incoming!
Bye.
Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the Iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void help me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. Do you have it?
Well, I was thinking you and Sanjar could join forces.
I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line.
Sanjar has corporate resources, and you could use to spread the message.
You know, Captain, I never thought about that. Maybe he could be taught the eternal truth. Spread the message from within the corporations. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance.
Already spoken to him. He's agreed to meet.
Well then. I've got to prepare a few just-in-case measures. But when you're ready, let's meet at the old OSI church outside Stellar Bay.
Alright, so there we go. Now we got to oversee the negotiation. So yeah, it's funny because the reputation with the Iconoclasts gets a bit negative, but not a lot. I think it only goes up by 2%. I think it went up by like 2%. And it's supposed to be because it's like a story choice. If that would have been like, if you would have done that any other time, you would have been completely negative. Alright, so let's see. Where the fuck is this at? Oh yeah, this little town here. So yeah, this is really kind of the way to do things. Just like with the first choice, getting them to work together is always like the best option. It prevents you from having to really like kill anybody. All right. Here we are.
Hey, thanks for coming.
I wish I'd had more time to prepare a proper analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose we'll have to improvise.
That's the spirit.
Gotta admit, I really thought I was walking into a trap here. I'm ready.
If it were, I wouldn't be standing here all vulnerable like.
Sanjar, Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us, we're willing to share the space.
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the budget alone is going to take weeks.
What if the Iconoclasts, well... What if the Iconoclasts supported the supply lines?
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter, Captain.
I'm not saying live outside, just help out in the wilderness once in a while.
Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
Captain, this might really work.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Graham was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
Something tells me Sanjar didn't know.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something, but you two aren't laughing.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible, even for him. That's going too far.
No, we found the evidence. It is. We found correspondences between him and the pirates.
But that means I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I buy it. Sanjar ain't capable of hurting a sprat, even from a distance.
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it.
Take it back a notch, Zora. You're here for your people, not the past.
Okay. You're right. Sorry. It'll take me a while to get over losing Graham.
You know, I felt the same way years ago, when he first left. There was something magnetic about him that let you ignore the things you didn't want to see. But surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable soldiers help out.
Glad to hear it. I'm hopeful about this alliance.
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering already.
Thanks for coming out, Sanjay.
Hey, peace in our time. There we go.
Guess I'll see you at Stellar Bay.
We done a good thing, Captain. A real good thing. Lots of folks are gonna be better off because of this.
So there we go. We've brokered peace between both of them, as we should have done. Everybody's getting along now. All right, so now we need to go. Now that we've done that, because we got to speak to Phineas. We got to travel to his lab. What we're gonna do first, actually, is we're gonna go and do the outpost stuff. Let's travel to the ship. And we're going to travel back to Terra 2, Edgewater.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain. I'll lock up.
Alright, we got who we need. Will the depravity never cease? It's a newspaper talking about how MSI and the Iconoclasts have joined up. Alright, so travel to the power plant here. We'll start traveling up here.
I'd wager this is the outpost. Rebecca! Anders! Come on out!
Alright, bye-bye. So that's where we need to go into. First, we're going to take a look around this place. I don't think we actually came up here. So... take all your stuff. Can't pick any of those up. Let's see. Around the back of that has nothing. Can't open this one up. Alright, well, in we go.
Hey, take a gander. The door's busted.
Yeah.
Rebecca? Anders? You in there? Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it.
It seems they're dead.
Oh no. What did you do?
Oh, Nyoka. I'm so sorry.
There's like dead people on the ground just like looting. Yeah, this looks pretty bad. Rusty journal. Its display is faded and the buttons are almost entirely rusted through, but you can still make out bits and pieces of what looks like Rebecca's final entries. Law helped me, but Anderson was right. We should have never taken this contract. I thought Monarch was bad, but this is unbearable. Everyone here is blind or addled or I don't know what. The towns won't let us walk in without an employment contract. I can't even find someone to let me send a message. For all the capable folk here, we're stuck. Back home, we had to fight for every meal because there were no meals that you didn't make yourself. Here, there's plenty, but nobody's allowed to give you one. We've been stealing bits and pieces of life from wherever we can. Anderson is about ready to sign up, offer his life in service to Spacer's Choice just so he can take a shower. Clara, I hope to the architect this never reaches you, but on the off chance it does, I wanted to say I'm sorry. Anderson and I fucked up. We didn't take the contract for the bits. We didn't take it because Primal sounded cool. We took it because we wanted out. Monarch's a living hell. We were sick of it. We were sick of getting sick. Of boiled Raptidon and stinking like sulfur no matter how hard you scrub. Of fighting, day in and day out. We're exhausted. We thought we could use the contract money to find a place here, settle down, but this place isn't any better. It's just different. We're starving all the same. We should have never left. I just thought maybe we could do better. I miss you, kid. Marauders at the door, Anderson's bled out, I'm on my way. I won't let them get me, not alive anyway. I've seen what those monsters do.
They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you. The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses.
Sort of good at that.
Or to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister. At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth.
She'd still want to know, just the same as you did.
Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana-Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick.
Might do it? I didn't think there was anything about the wilderness you don't know.
That'd be boring. Half the fun in exploring is the fact that you're on an unknown trail. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla.
Yes, they
Let's
are.
tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
Alright. Well, now that we've done that, it's time to get the fuck out of here and... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna fast travel here so I can get rid of any of the stuff that we were carrying around. Soft speaker, huh? Plasma launcher? I feel like there's some of these that we haven't actually looked at yet, like this frozen dinner. Fried chicken, mashed spectrum potatoes, and spiced mock apples. All in one, featuring signature sauce. There's 2 portable food units in here. Fizzy tea. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Gigantor energy drink. Rizzo's. Is there any food that we haven't seen yet? We've seen that. Seen those. Yeah, we've seen that. music boxes every time. Woolly milk. We might have seen this. Purple berry shake. Oh, the pancake mix we haven't seen. CMP pancakes. Now with near maple flavor. It's near maple. It's not actually maple. Fish sticks. Made from real marine ingredients, it says. I don't understand why I can't get that to just be right side up. Another frozen dinner. Alright. There we go. I'm holding on to those. So that I can maybe give some new weapons and stuff, new armor and stuff to the crew. We'll see here. All right, Ellie, 107. We'll give her that. Why not? She could probably do with a better pistol. 21. It's 24. I think she looks cooler that way, to be honest. I feel like she would want that anyway. Give her a better helmet. And then shots ricochet. Might as well, I guess. Alright, Felix. 120 to 480, 120 to 480. So this is 34. This is 36. Could actually give him the better one. That one's 39. And he's got 53. Just give him that. He's good on that stuff. For Ellie, what was her helmet again? 48. Now we have a 49. That's better. All right, Nyoka. It's 158. Anything better than that? I don't think I do. It's 26. I like the gold armor for her though. Parvati, Parvati already has stuff. All right. Probably give her that though. 36. And her helmet is what, 29? It's 33. Just give her that. I don't really like the big bulky armor though for her. Just kind of why I have that. Pick her max. Alright. 123 and 50. 26. Versus the dark one. This helmet's 48. So I think we're good on that. Alright, another perk for him. You drop below 25% health. Why not? And then Sam, of course. Sends the target, leaving him unable to act. That's great. What is my helmet? It's 32. I could do with a better helmet. Yeah, this one's the 36, right? Yeah. And it's 38. All right. Let's see.
Caution.
Let me go ahead and repair. All right. So what do I have? I have a. Rate of fire. Use weapon sway. So it's like crit damage that I have. Which I think I'm fine with. I have the electric on here versus plasma. I want to put a fucking gyro sight on there. The scope is what I want. Although it looks kind of cooler without the scope. I do kind of like the scope though. Hammer. Current is plasma. Oh, there's also acid. My grip is a speed grip. What's that? Just increases the durability. So yeah, I think we're good on those. I might actually change this from plasma to shock. Rather. I think the reason being is because I'm tired of just like melting enemies. So I have the crit damage on here. Do I already have a gyro sight? I do. And I already have a gyro sight on this as well. And I have the increased. I have that, and then the Fun Times barrel. For my, let's see here. So in terms of the weapons for the crew, we already have a couple of things. So the In-Ray. Alright, we could use 2 on here. Speed grip. I'll put that. Maybe we'll do the corrosion on this blade. Mr. Acid. Plasma launcher. I mean, probably with the rate of fire, because that thing isn't very quick. Increase the magazine size. Right. Mr. Power. There we go. Then everything else already has something on it. Alright, so I already have 4 mods. We wanna put more. Parvati. Range weapon skills, tech skills. We'll do this. And then carrying capacity, because she's always with us, so. Install that. Tech skills. This is maxes, I believe. Install that as well. Again, we'll install that. This is for Ellie. Alright.
Unexpected turbulence may cause loose container.
Alright, so all the rest of these we're going to get rid of. And then we're going to get rid of all these. And both of those. And we're in the clear. We still have this the targeting module. We can give it to anybody, so.
From the upper shelves. If you are crushed to death, I'll need to find a new captain.
You notice how our crews
alright, so when we're in here, as you can see, we have the MSI lanterns now. Centro donated these after you helped MSI, Crown Lanterns. And then we have this Iconoclast banner. Then Zora's in charge. The Iconoclast have a fighting chance of surviving and spreading from Monarch.
Sam ain't people. I guess he can be Chairman Rockwell on that one cameo.
We also have the mounted Mantiqueen head. What's better than to establish dominance over an alien ecosystem by hunting its most dangerous predator and mounting its head on your wall? We have the CNP, Borsworth sign. Do me proud, and I shall shower you in Bortwurst and gold. Cross me, and I will serve your head on a silver platter with mushroom gravy. Signed by the Borscht King of Monarch himself.
Read those lines because the actors were afraid of offending the chairman.
We have these. I like to believe those are from the gardeners at Edgewater. Yeah. The Iconoclast banners. Do away with all that crap. I don't need it. Do we have any messages? Nope. Nothing.
Shut off the visual feed from my ocular inputs in the captain's quarters. So you're free to disrobe whenever you'd like.
Hey, boss, I've been thinking.
About what?
I wanted to shake his hand. I need a shower. Makes you wonder if being a treacherous, two-timing coward is some sort of contagious disease, or if he was just born that way.
Just about Graham Bryant?
At first, I liked what Graham was doing. The Iconoclasts were going to change Halcyon for the better. But then, we found out Graham was behind the slaughter of Amber Heights. How can anybody so morally bankrupt lead a movement to transform the colony?
Well, don't go looking for role models, Felix. You're just asking to be lied to.
Yeah, maybe you're right. You'd never do something like that, would you? Slaughter a whole community of innocents?
Graham wasn't the one who killed all those people. He just allowed it to happen.
I'm sure Graham told himself the same thing. He wasn't the one who held the gun and pulled the trigger. All he did was turn a key. The thing is, that's all it takes. Sometimes the difference between right and wrong is turning a key, or looking the other way, or keeping your mouth shut when you ought to speak up. Let's get back to it. I need to put all this ugly business with Graham behind me.
Alright, well.
Hey boss, got a hypothetical for you? You got a friend, see? Somebody you knew when you were growing up. You were close. Then one day, they up and vanished. 5 years go by, they send you a message out of the aether. What's going through your head?
Shock and disbelief, seeing how most of my friends are still on Earth.
Right, forgot about that. Though, shock and disbelief's a good way to put it. Guy by the name of Clyde Harlow. He was an old friend of mine. Honestly, he was probably my first and longest friend. I just heard from him. Says he wants to talk to me. Says it's urgent.
Alright. Well then, let's go.
Clyde's waiting for us on
Clearly
Sora.
important to you.
What he's doing on an asteroid, I can't begin to imagine. I appreciate this, boss. I know you're going out of your way for me.
Thank me later. Alright, so that's his companion quest. Let's talk to Ellie.
Things on Monarch have really cooled off. I didn't think MSI and the Iconoclast would ever talk. Outside of shouting four-letter words, I mean.
Just goes to show you there's always a peaceful option.
Sure. And fish sticks are really made from Saltuna. Look, I won't knock the work you did. I'm sure they'll have a good cry, look through old photographs, share a pint of premium double chocolate cacao gelato. But sooner or later, things will go back to the way they were. People don't change. Not really.
It was a very specific image.
Well, who hasn't been there? Anyway, I'd hate to see you get broken up if this thing between them doesn't last.
Nice to know you care.
Hey, let's not make this out to be more than it is. Anything else?
Never mind.
Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by...
We've already talked about all this. Yeah.
No
Okay. Sam is wandering out somewhere. Stud Steeper. Sparkling is this unit's middle name. A steeper designed to kill germs rather than people. They're the bag of moldy sweetheart cakes. Rock hard and slightly discolored, these moldy Rizzo's sweetheart cakes are decades beyond their no more refunds after this date. There's a bunch of faded air freshener. It's lemony fresh. Mag picks. Kick me sign. Here's what we had for him. If there's anything new in here. I think there's anything new in here either. A toss ball. So is bloodstains. Hello, Max.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral.
You've said that before.
Something vexing.
During the experience of the hermits, you seemed somewhat at odds with your mother.
I wouldn't say my parents disowned me, strictly speaking. But before they died, they accused me of thoughtlessly abandoning them. I couldn't understand it. I was only trying to make them proud by becoming a better vessel for the plan, to feel the joy they felt. I was so certain my potential was wasted as a laborer, and was willing to risk everything just to prove to them that they were wrong. I was lost, misguided. Bokonu.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Good on that. And this is Nyoka's room, of course, if you didn't figure it out with all the posters that we picked up. All these. She has this Raptidon named Frida. Nyoka has scrawled the name Frida into an otherwise pristine, preserved Raptidon head. Encased trip blade. Strike with this and you'll feel it going up your arms and into your shoulders. Never once let me down. Nyoka. Framed photograph of Nyoka's crew. A faded photograph of Nyoka and her hunter crew etched into the back in a muddy red is the word Charon. Locks the perks the crew for Nyoka. Bunch of stuff in the fridge I can take as well. Aptodon Musk. He was just up here. Now he's, what is he, stomping around downstairs? Yeah, he is.
Every SAM unit comes lean, mean, and ready to clean.
Good work, Sam.
Thank you, customer. Sam, merciless on germs.
Alright. Back to work, Sam. I think we're good on everything else currently. Just talk to Parvati real quick.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern.
Alright. Okay, so with Scylla, go to landing pad.
Destination reached. Scylla.
So we're gonna do both the quests here, but we're gonna take Parvati and Nyoka for now. All right. Let's see. I guess we might as well grab this one first. Die, combat drones. I thought we killed Colonel Butterscotch already. We got a brain. Alright, and the pheromone gland. There we are. See you later. Decimated.
about your friends, Nathan. Ain't no one deserves to go like that. Certainly not folks just trying to get by.
Thanks for saying that. You know, after seeing so many people get chomped, trip into sulfur pools, shot by marauders, I always figured we'd die young. But just because you expect it doesn't make it any easier. Next chance we get, I'm buying you a Spectrum bottle, so we can proper drown you.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to try Spectrum when we went out. Is it any good?
It is without a doubt the worst, most foul liquid mankind has ever had the misfortune to invent. You'll love it.
I don't think she will. She didn't really love all the drinks she was having to begin with.
Here they come.
Oh, we're getting hit by the N-rays. We got hit by the N-rays. Alright, there we go. There's a little cave here. I don't know if we went... I don't think we went down in here. Damaged hover mechanical? Hello. Bunch of just dead bodies down here. A bunch of skeletons. Automag pistol.
Life signs abnormal. Administering stimulant.
Hi. Yeah, that was unnecessary of me as well to kill the Sprat, but what a strange to have like just standard troop armor. It's very odd. Really nothing good in there, to be honest. So why is it locked down? Alright. So I'll fast travel back to this interior. We will transition out, but instead we'll take Felix with us. So we have Max's quest done. We're working on Parvati's. We're working on Nyoka's. We're going to start Felix's. We don't have Ellie's yet. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I don't actually know when we get Ellie's. I think we might have to like go to Byzantium first, but I'm not really too sure. I'll just have to see. I don't know. Alright, so friendships due. Oh, we have to travel to his landing pad. That's right, there was that second landing pad for Scylla, right? Harlow's base. Go. Yeah, see, MSI joins with Iconoclast. Alright, so now we're here. We have this new little area.
Hey, you. Looking for something?
Hi.
Where do you think you're going?
Felix Millstone's with me. Clyde Harlow's expecting us.
Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you, then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I'm Felix.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through.
Thank you.
Got my sights on you.
Oh, none of this is stealing, so... That was stealing.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm not doing nothing. Just leaving.
Don't let me catch you around here again.
Sorry, buddy. It's actually a good way to get like XP all the time is to just like steal stuff and then in front of people and then like and then just intimidate your way out or persuade your way out. It's great. Alright, so let's get in here and talk to Harlow. I'm sure there's plenty of shit for us to steal. There we go. Nothing to see here, folks. Like, you know, this shit I can't really take is that guy.
That machine stole my business. Why do we even have one of these?
I mean, I don't know, dude. Don't you need a vending machine to sell stuff like me? I think we've seen all this stuff. Trip Stout. Yeah. Well, that's not stealing. Nor is that. We have a pretty dirty bathroom, guys. Maybe we should fix that up. Logs. Acquisition log. Independent freighter, Cat's Meow, Hall, contraband pharmaceuticals, summary brought down salvage cargo, ransomed crew. Independent freighter, getaway sticks, Hall, subversive literature, summary brought down salvage cargo, crew joined up. Freighter, werewolf, Hall, engine parts. Summary brought down salvage cargo, crew jettisoned an escape pod. As usual, we were able to intercept these ships despite how cleverly they masked their heat signatures. Our patron pulled through again, and with that tracking data, don't know how they get their hands on it, but we are in no position to refuse charity. Memo. Crew, I'm beginning to wonder about our patron. When we opened up our scanners and sniffed the system for our latest Wildcat, we picked up a signal from a corporate freighter nearby. It was hauling 10 times more cargo than our target. No sooner did we scan it than a message came through, ordering us to go after the Wildcat instead. Something doesn't add up. Until I get answers, stay skeptical. Harlow. Last entry. Pirate code. Rule number 1, Harlow's the boss. Rule number 2, fuck the board. Rule number 3, why are you still reading, pig? Wake up. If you're seeing this, the board already owns you. We went looking for the rules. Why? Because life's a game to you? Maybe you like being played. You guzzle down that sense of security like it's purple berry flavored opium. Fuck rules, and fuck terminals. It's not a revolution if we're using the weapons they raised against us time and time again. From the front lines of the riots to the corporate sit-ins and error, document Pirates Code has exceeded character limit. Just kind of went on a rant there. Alright, so what's in this other room over here? It's just another way around, alright. Marlowe. Here's
well, hey there,
Clyde
Harlow.
Harlow.
Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see, or a you've aged, old man?
I'll just let you two work this out.
I thought you were dead. Or throwing yourself against the walls of some re-education center. That's been 5 years, Clyde. The best thing you can say is, hey there, Hullhead?
No, Felix. The best thing I can say to you is yet to come. Also, I'd like to have a word with your captain. So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
He's been watching out for us just as much as we've been watching out for him. Felix is family, mister.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy.
Tell me why we're here.
I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him.
You want to put him through a test.
Everyone in my crew proves their loyalty. No exceptions. Not even Felix. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely.
You can control your own people, Harlow?
We're not a band of common pirates, Captain. We are revolutionaries. I expect a certain degree of intestinal fortitude from my soldiers. Trask was a coward.
And what did Trask do to deserve death?
Ratted us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
What do you think, Felix?
Clyde offered me a hand when nobody else would. I'd say I owe him a good turn.
There you have it, Captain. A favor for an old friend.
There's more to this than you're letting on.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token.
How well do you know Felix?
Well enough. It's been a few years, but I still remember a thing or two. You had a chip on your shoulder. You'd argue over anything, and you'd never back down.
What do you mean, had? And for the record, you never could admit when you lost an argument.
You see what I had to deal with?
Something I'd like to ask
Let's
you.
hear it.
You said you were working on something big.
A revolution is the work of a lifetime, Captain. I've spent my life preparing for the day of Halcyon's reckoning. Everything you see around you is the result of that preparation. A base of operations, loyal soldiers, freedom from the board's oversight.
Sounds like you've got some plan to overthrow the board.
Hardly. The board is rotting from the inside. Tomorrow, next year, a generation from now, eventually, the board will fall to pieces. Entropy is the natural state of the universe, Captain. All systems inevitably dissolve. When that day comes to Halcyon, we will be ready.
So you're a band of outlaws living on the edge of an asteroid. Some revolution.
Not all revolutions involve bloodshed and fire, Captain. The purest act of rebellion is to live according to one's own means, independent of any masters. One day, when the board is weak and Halcyon vulnerable, we may claim a piece of this system for ourselves. Until then, we bide our time.
What makes you think you're free?
The skies around Scylla are curiously absent of patrol ships. It's almost as if the board's sphere of influence is shrinking. Besides, our facility is well armed and located on defensible terrain. If the board tries to lay siege to us, we'll make them pay. Something on your
Change
mind?
subject. There's something about Felix. Felix tells me he disappeared one day.
I was working on this plan for years, saving every bit I could, drawing plans, biding my time. I never intended to spend my life laboring on the Groundbreaker. When the opportunity presented itself, I did what I had to do. I left.
You might have said something.
I had some ugly business in Scylla. If I told you, I would have implicated you.
Want to elaborate on that?
Hephaestus controlled mining operations all over Scylla. Most of these operations failed. The company pulled out and abandoned their facilities. Mostly abandoned anyway. This one was running on a skeleton crew. My associates and I seized control in a matter of minutes.
Alright, well that's all for now, I guess. Alright, so now we can get out of here. We're gonna change. So we have to track down Trask. We have to go to Groundbreaker. We're going to do this. First, because we've been working on this one longer.
You're adjusting before you pull. Hey, Cap.
These glands are gross. Take them, please.
Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon.
What's Charon? I know what it is. But...
Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth. Something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so
it's the
here we
boatman
are.
to the underworld. The boatman takes you through hell. Down into hell. Alright. It's about time. We're gonna kill a Mana Queen.
Fucking right we are.
Although we've already killed like 2 or 3. And you know what? You didn't really know what I'd love. Just the other day, well, it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for
EA announced that they were getting they were quitting the servers of the servers for Dante's Inferno. You know, like shutting down the servers for that and like Dead Space 2 and stuff. And it just got me thinking, like, man, I would love a remaster of like Dante's Inferno. I really wanted to play that on the channel, but I couldn't get it to stream, so you know, 360 games don't really work that well on. I mean, you can't really like stream them on Series X. They work on the Series X, but I should have streamed a lot of like 360 games back when I had the ability on like the 1X. Okay, there we go. Oof. Again, didn't mean to do that. Oh, we got a bunch of other dead guys out here.
Whew. Here we go. I haven't set foot in here since... Well, I'm ready.
Right. Mantisaur Hive. Alright, so... Might as well pick all the stuff up that we see. The old base you guys used to hang out in. The old shovel. Alright, let's clear out the base.
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home.
Didn't you tell me the story after we
Got a
killed the
nice
damn
chill to
thing?
it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur.
You know, it did feel a little bit different when we walked in.
Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building.
I don't understand why she can't just tell us this after we've killed the Manta Queen. Built all this?
We hauled in steel. Hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable.
It's been a brave kid.
More like attached at the hip to her older sister. Got a kind of strength between them, I suppose. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong.
I'm sorry they aren't here to see us kick some Manta ass. Let's do this.
Coming.
Bye. I'll be taking all of that crap. Thank you very much. Didn't even get to like search around here. Clara's here.
We did it. We fucking did it! I'd hug you if I weren't covered in guts.
What?
Come on, let's find those medallions. We did it.
Okay.
We fucking did it! I'd hug you if I weren't covered in guts. Come on, let's find those medallions.
I guess I gotta find them. I gotta get both of them beforehand.
Great work.
Great work breaking into a locked chest that we had in here. It wasn't yours to begin with. But great work. Oh, I slept. Here we are.
it look so easy.
Well, it was. Took me 2 seconds. A second, probably. Not even 2. And Opal. Alright.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done.
She got her crew perk.
That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you.
You're welcome, Nyoka.
You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest.
Of course, although I think you should hold on to the medallions.
What? Why? Them's painful memories, Captain.
Yeah, they'll help remind you of both the good and the bad, not just the bad.
Huh. That ain't a bad point. All right, Captain. Thanks.
Hold on to them and...
You know, I'd been assuming this entire stay on your ship thing isn't a permanent arrangement. Part of my contract? That said, you ain't been eaten or shot to death yet. Says a lot about the stability of your future. And to be honest, I'm about sick of sleeping on bar stools. So how's about this? You keep letting me stay on that ship of yours, and I'll keep shooting at the things you point at.
Sounds good to me.
Outstanding.
Alright, so yeah, now Nyoka has the, she's got the crew. Increase your critical hit chance when fighting creatures, 10%. And so that's her loyalty perk. So, yeah. Alright, so now we'll switch back to Friendship's Due. Fast travel from here, of course. Could go the other way. Alright, so get back on the ship. Travel back to the Groundbreaker.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
And we will unselect Nyoka and take Felix. Of course, we're always taking Parvati. I love that that poster for the prefab tomes. Like seeing it, like you turn these crates into like a business or a home or whatever the hell. All right, so we gotta go talk to Rosanna. Where the fuck is she at here? To the bar? Yep.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Hello.
You mind trying to have a moment here?
Are you Rosanna Trask?
Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something?
I'm looking for a guy by the name of Rufus Trask. I'm told he lived around here.
Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
I'm on, well... Maybe I should show her Harlow's emblem. If you know where Trask is, you want to tell me.
That's Harlow's mark. No mistake. Guess he's not letting this one go. I don't want any manner of harm befalling Rufus. Not on my account.
I mean, technically, I'm not going to lay a finger on him until I talk to him.
We're not? Oh, right, yeah. We're non-violent sorts. Real diplomatic.
All right, you made your point. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know. Please, just
Right,
make it
a few
quick.
more questions. How did you and Trask split up?
That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to.
Harlow tells me Trask betrayed him. Do you know anything about that?
Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order.
He didn't tell you anything about Harlow?
No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I.
How much do you know about Harlow?
Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
Sounds familiar, Felix.
He must have been recruiting, gathering up his band of revolutionaries.
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow. Never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus.
Exactly. All right, thanks.
Appreciate it. No offense meant. Just been a long day is all.
All right. So we gotta go travel back to Terra 2 again. It's a bit of a back and forth, but, you know. Terra 2. To Edgewater.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Alright. Now time to look for Trask. So he's all the way out here, so we gotta go to the botanical lab. Turn around and get down through here somehow. That guy, I better take all his stuff. Hope we got some primals in here. I just killed them while they were sleeping. Well, they woke up, but... bodies. They're probably just crunching on. Alright, let's go through here. Confront Trask. Hello.
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me.
That's right. Harlow said you betrayed him.
Yeah, of course he did. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead, and I've got no intention of dying.
Harlow wants your ring as proof of your death. That's all I'm after.
Harlow wants my ring? Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. A ring's a lot easier to lose than a hand. How do I know that I can trust you?
What's the worst that can happen? Harlow sends a stranger with a gun after you?
Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a rope, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes.
You're asking me to take you for your word. Show me some evidence.
Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task.
If you've got proof, let's see it.
I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent.
Why would the board buy off Harlow?
Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me.
What was Harlow doing for the board?
Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse.
So that explains what we read on the terminal.
Take it you've made up your mind.
I'm not going to kill you, Trask, but I am going to ask for your ring.
You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Take care. Alright, let's see. So, lockpick. Let's do... we could also use more in hack, I think. So we'll do that. A perk. Let's see. How about 50% XP from companion kills? Because companions are killing a good amount, so... Alright. So now we just need to go back to Harlow. And confront him with the evidence. Vent back in Harlow's base, okay. Alright, got what we want. Let's go look for the evidence, shall we? So there's Harlow, and Trask's evidence is right here. Seems like it's... yeah, right here. Stats receipts. These receipts detail payments made to C. Harlow on behalf of the board. Freelancing services included are the names of several freighters targeted by Harlow's crew. They're manifest in the sum value of all cargo delivered to port authorities. Alright, so let's go confront Harlow with this shit, shall we?
What's the word?
Trask had a lot to say about you, Harlow.
Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life.
Trask told me you've been working for the board.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand?
You've been bought off. I've got the receipts. I brought the receipts to the tea.
Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for.
When we met, you told me Trask was an informant for the board. You were lying.
You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face.
Come on, Harlow. Why would Trask rat you out to your own employers?
How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Alright. Time for everyone to die. What was that? What was that?
Everyone all right?
Oh. There's all that. I can steal their crap now because they won't be needing it. Haha. Take all your stuff. Thank you very much. What's it say now? Speak to Felix on the ship. Alright. I shall do that. So there's stuff here, wasn't there? Yeah. There was these. Ouch. Oh, we forgot,
Here they come. What was that? That's the last of him.
Okay, well, there we are. We can kill the construction mechanical. There's 28 XP for that little sprat. Just destroy all their shit so that even if some of them were to survive, they would have nothing. Here we are. Go upstairs and talk to Felix.
This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think.
You never really know what's going on inside somebody's skull.
No. I guess you really don't. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me.
I can understand why you're upset. You feel like he betrayed you.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that.
It'll pass. Give it time.
I hope so. I don't see this one passing anytime soon. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. I don't know what I believe anymore. Maybe it's better that way. Thanks for your time, boss.
Alright, there we go. So, for Felix, so yeah, fighting corporate enemies, self-governed. Post armor damage dealt. So yeah, there we go. So that's his quest for Friendship Due. So I think that's it's pretty much that. I don't think there's anything else to that, I don't believe. So alright, well, all these other quests are on Byzantium. I think next time when we come back, we are going to we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the murder on Eridanos, the DLC. So yeah, we will we'll talk to Ada with that next time. So there we go. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.